Hello, my name is Mihail, and in this video I will be going over some attack-focused Piazza set designs in Forge of Empires. I have a separate video on some Forge-point-focused Piazza set designs, so if you are interested in that, link is in the description. So, before I go into the designs, I quickly want to say a few words about the Piazza set. Now, most people know that it's basically the same as the Cherry set. Same design, same number of buildings, same building sizes and so on. So in many regards it's very similar to the Cherry set design. But when it comes to attack, it has one major difference, and that is that the Clocktower, the attack-giving building, of course it's the opposite direction from the Cherry Garden attack-giving building, the Sakura Rock, but it also requires a road connection. So if you look at the Sakura Rock from the Cherry Garden set, it does not require any roads. The other big difference is that the Clocktower, it gives scaling attack based on your age. So if you are in a lower age, it will give less attack than if you are in Virtual Future or above. So that's a major downside with the Piazza set design. Whereas for the Cherry set design, it gives the same amount of attack for all ages. So that's something to keep in mind. But those two things combined makes the Piazza set sadly a little bit worse when it comes to attack compared to the Sakura Rock or the Cherry Garden designs. And it also gives slightly less attack, though I guess that in the next age it will probably give the same as the Cherry Gardens. So yeah, with that out of the way, let me go over to a few designs that I have made here. So the first design is this weird thing. So this first here is not really an attack-focused design. It's kind of a compromise between attack and forge points. As you can see, it gives 32 forge points and 36 attack. If you look at per tile, it gives 0.41 forge point per tile, which is, quite good. It's definitely not the best. You can get better from newer event buildings, but it's certainly quite good. For example, the Dark Doorway gives 0.33 force points per tile, so this is better than that. And in addition, you get a decent amount of attack. So 0.46 attack per tile, that's definitely not too good if you just look at attack. Ideally you want this to be at least twice as good, but it's definitely a nice compromise. Now you can make this design a little bit better when it comes to attack by changing it a little bit and attaching some clock towers on the edges of the design, like here. So on this design, you can see that it gives 72 attack compared to 36, so you double the attack. You get 4 additional clock towers, but you do lose 4 forge points, and that's because you have to remove these mask vendors, because they will no longer give attack, no longer give forge points, sorry. And to get forge points from these metal pieces, you also need roads inside here, so it's slightly less convenient, but it is quite nice. And just a quick detour when talking about roads. As I mentioned here, the attack building requires a road connection. So here you can see that all these yellow buildings require roads. So for this set, you kind of need roads on all sides, and similar here, you need roads on all the sides with road inside here. So in terms of road efficiency, it's not that efficient, but it's still quite nice. So that's these. I definitely think it's interesting design, and I think this is a very nice compromise if you're looking for a compromise between attack and forge points. But yeah, let's move on to these designs. Now these are more similar to the ones you're familiar with from the Cherry Garden, where you have the basic design with some connecting pieces between them. Like here, you have 2 basic designs, basic modules, with some pieces between. Now with this set and this set, they're very similar to each other. But the main difference is that here, as you can see, I have 2 connecting pieces, but I also have some clock towers sticking out from the sides. Now this is of course very awkward, but if we look at the stats, it gives 54 attack, 16 force points. If you look at per tile, it gives 0.7 attack and 0.21 force points. So almost as good as Shrine of Knowledge, and a decent amount of attack. Ideally you want to aim for perhaps 1 attack per tile or above, but it's definitely not bad. And similar for this, you get slightly more attack from that. And I broke it. I need to fix that someday. Anyway, here we go. So yeah, slightly better. Now one main difference between these two is that with this design, you can easily extend it, like here, by simply adding one more of these modules. And as you can see, you of course get more attack, but it also gets more efficient for each module you add. So here you get 0.71 attack per tile, and here you get 0.75. So each time you add a module, you see that you add 0.82 attack per tile. So it does grow towards 0.82 attack per tile. Now, if you are familiar with the Cherry Garden attack focus designs, you will know that you generally replace in the Cherry Garden design, you replace the pond with another Sakura. And for the Piazza, you can do the same. You can replace one of these cafes with a Clocktower. You do sadly lose quite a lot of forge points by doing that. But you do get better attack efficiency. So in this case here, you see that you get 0.89 attack per tile, but you get very little forge points, very few forge points. So here, for example, in raw numbers, you see that you get 90 attack, but 6 forge points. If you look at this, you get the same amount of attack, 90 forge points, but you get 24 forge points. 90 attack, but 24 forge points. So the only difference between these two is that instead of placing this clock tower outside of the main 5x5, you include it in the 5x5. So in this set, what you essentially do is that you remove these three clock towers and move these you remove the cafes, sorry, and you move the clock towers inside this 5x5. So that's the main difference. And honestly, even though I'm very much all about the attack focus designs at the moment, and I want the best attack efficiency I can, I would probably go for this instead of this, because you get the same amount of attack, and you get quite a lot of more forge points, and you will always need forge points. So, I don't know. I think I'll probably go for this myself instead of this. This is of course completely up to you. And I also think this is slightly easier to place in your city, but it's definitely up to you. So yeah, that's more or less what I have to say. As I said, I would go for this if you want the absolute best attack per tile. Or if you want to compromise a little bit, get the same amount of attack but slightly less efficient, but in return you get quite a lot of forge points, I would go for this. And then if you want an even stronger compromise between forge points and attack, I would go for this. And then lastly, if you want to go for kind of a 50-50 split between forge points and attack, I would go for that. So there's a little bit for everything here. And as I will go over in the next video, there are also some more forge point focused designs where it's all about the forge points. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. All the links are in the description. If you have any comments or suggestions, I would love to hear them. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.